changes and things like that?
My friend.
Okay, so mescaline is a chemical that is a hallucinogenic drug, or it can provoke hallucinogenic effects. It's procured from the dried crown of cacti, including the peyote cactus. So some people talk about peyote, using peyote. That's mescaline. It's common in northern Mexico, southwestern United States. It's been used for thousands of years in cultural and religious rituals. Aldous Huxley popularized the use of mescaline in a book known as The Doors of Perception. And in the 1960s, there was a pretty dramatic rise in the U.S. use of peyote, or mescaline. The Doors, of course, Jim Morrison gets the name of the band from this particular book. With mescaline, the cactus crown, is actually cut off and dried, which produces what's called a mescal button, or a peyote button, that can be chewed raw, although it's extremely bitter, apparently, or it can be cooked and eaten. Pure mescaline, actually the chemical, was actually extracted from the peyote button in 1896, and the drug was actually synthesized chemically in 1919. It turns out that there's an Oregon connection to the use of mescaline. It turns out that in 1990, the Supreme Court actually ruled that Oregon's prohibition of peyote use in religious ceremonies, and this is a drug that's been used, for many generations in religious ceremonies, did not violate the Constitution's First Amendment free exercise of religion clause. And the reason they actually made this ruling is that earlier, 2 drug rehab counselors in Oregon actually who were both members of the Native American Church, were fired from their jobs with a private company in Oregon because they had ingested peyote for sacramental purposes at a church ceremony. And they actually applied to Oregon's Department of Human Resources for unemployment compensation, but they were denied on the grounds that they had been legitimately discharged for misconduct that was connected with their work. So the Supreme Court actually, this case actually made it all the way to the Supreme Court, ruled that Oregon was right to prohibit peyote use and to use that as grounds for dismissal.